welcome to my channel. This is Lyran, and I'm here to do the daily Super 7 Oracle card, Tarot card reading for Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, in the Frontline Collective. We're going to jump right in this morning. So starting off with Army. Okay, interesting. So we have the Truth card coming up. We have the Two of Air in reverse, which is the Two of Swords. And then we have the Miracles card coming up as well. So the Miracles card is about after the storm. So the first message coming through is a confirmation to you that the storm has passed. The worst is over in the current situation that you're inquiring about or thinking about in this reading. And this Two of Swords in reverse means to me that you've moved past a point of indecision. You've actually chosen a direction. You've aligned yourself with your truth coming out of this stormy period. I feel like this might be family related. I feel like it's possible there's been some dissension, a drama, exhaustion in the energy, possibly past trauma in family energy that's been coming up, bubbling up, percolating. This is you aligning with your truth and Spirit coming through saying the worst is over. Look to divine rainbows to enter into your life. Okay, so that is the message for the Army this morning. Navy. Okay, we have the first chakra, Archangel Michael. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. And we have Stand Your Ground in reverse. So, excuse me, Navy. The first chakra card is about stability and security. Coming up in the upright, this is a strong message of confirmation that you are in a place where you are building your security and stability. You are aligned with a stable and trustworthy path, okay? But there is this message coming through from Spirit that's really clear to me about not being married to what that path looks like. Because here we have Stand Your Ground in reverse and the Three of Wands in reverse. So for me, this is like saying, whatever the path is, let the divine choose it. Your stability and security is in the hands of the divine. You attempting to push or manipulate circumstances would undermine your stability and security. So stay in the flow, okay? Stay in the flow. Don't live willfully right now, okay? That is the message for the Navy. Air Force. Okay, we have Triumph card. We've got Diana, which is about focused intention. And if you notice the High Priestess symbol, the crescent moon on the top, enlightened. I'm sorry, I got distracted by something. Enlightened perspective. And higher realm connectivity. Okay, an openness to the higher realms, an exchange of information, the receptivity to those downloads. You are in a place where you're actually able to get this information. And so we've got this Seven of Hearts, which is the Seven of Cups, and there's a lot of interpretations for this card. And then I've got the Eight of Diamonds next to it. Okay, this is almost like the opposite of Navy. Air Force, you are going to be actively working with the universe to manifest the next step for you. And it will be a level up step. So you see how much action is in this card? This person is really focused on that. Followed by this card of focused intention. So this is a confirmation that whatever you've locked sights on is in alignment with your with a positive level up, okay? And there's going to be some work. If you notice, I don't know if you could see it, this card's a little hard to see. She's tying an apron. These hands are tying an apron. And this card is actually about like luxurious preparedness. So it's when you've got a stocked larder. It's when you've got hens in the hen house making eggs. It's when you've got resources that are sustainable and are going to continue to flow in your life that offer you the small luxuries and comforts that the preparedness and readiness gives you through psychological comfort, as well as just having those resources on hand. This person is recognizing that there are some decisions that need to be made to like make sure that their livelihood and resources are protected, and whatever action you've been taking, Air Force, Spirit's right behind you, backing you up, because you're completely in alignment. So keep doing that. Keep working on your preparedness and your readiness, whether that's spiritual, whether that's physical, whether that's mental or emotional. Keep working on it, okay? Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Interesting. Okay, the first card that we have coming up is Eros. And I absolutely love doing the Marine reading sometimes. You guys have really strong energy that comes through. So Eros is interesting because in one of the old belief systems of ancient Greece, everything was originally in chaos. Chaos being a capitalized word represented by the god of chaos. The first thing born out of chaos was not the four elements. The first thing born out of chaos was love in its purest divine masculine form, including loyalty. This is not, this is a strong message coming through. You are not to distort this energy into the word wow, this word is just not coming to me. I guess Spirit doesn't want me to say that. Spirit, okay, so this message about distortion is about, because this energy includes a lot of lust, it is not living in this energy out of balance, so that it's more about lust than love and loyalty and divine, true soul connection. Multiple wives, multiple partners, thinking that your love is so powerful and amazing. It needs to be shared with multiple women. That is a no-go. That is not the message. Let me be very, very, very clear about that. And there's a person who needs to hear this. This is a really positive message. But there is somebody out there that is going to try to distort this to make it work for them. And that is a no-go. So you can just click right the fuck off. So this energy right here is interesting because we have this burden card, which is the Ten of Wands, effectively in tarot. And then we have the Judgment card in reverse. This is letting go of previous decisions that were not good. Dropping the burden of shame. I'm hearing shame and regret, because you can't actually build positivity if you're still processing those emotions. So this is the moving through of that energy with a very strong focus on what is truly unconditional love. This is moving out of that distorted energy. Yeah. So that's the message for the Marines. Okay, Coast Guard. This card came up last night in the Divine Masculines reading as energy that the Super 7 Divine Masculine has transmuted this energy, the distorted version of matriarchal energy. So Coast Guard, this is the second time I think of Divine Masculines come through specifically in your reading. So that's very interesting to note. Yeah. So we have this Union card and we have Intuition. And so I did talk about this. Please, if you feel like you resonate with this reading, I'm going to ask you to watch the Super 7 Divine Masculine reading, because I go into a little bit more detail and I feel like there's messages for you there, especially because we have this Empress card coming up in reverse, which is feeling maternal to me, even though the Empress card doesn't necessarily always mean that at all. In this case, I feel very strongly that that is the situation. This is a person who has come into union with their own intuition and higher knowing and like an interpersonal truth about the maternal energy in their life. This Seven of Fire is about standing your ground, you know, defending your position. So I do feel like there's some maternal stuff that's the Coast Guard Divine Masculine Collective, and I really am picking up masculine energy in this particular group, is working through this distorted maternal energy. So here's this thing I want to tell you though about this matriarch, because I also have an extremely toxic mother, and the thing is all of our mothers are human, and all of our mothers have their own set of karmic and life lessons, soul lessons they need to go through. Some of us that have a more toxic connection have that in our lives so that we can move past it and we can, you know, not follow in those footsteps. The story behind the card for matriarch is about a woman who failed her community. She was not in a place of strength at a time when her community needed it, in a place of leadership. She was exiled, okay, in an area of low resources. So off into the desert she trod, and she created and manifested a refuge and an oasis in the middle of, you know, the proverbial desert, for others that were in exile, for others that had been, for others that were subject to the karmic ramifications of failure in a particular strategy. But this resilience and this capacity to provide for others, even in fucked up energy, is what mothers are called to do. So remember, even if you're dealing with the toxic mother, and this is difficult energy, because if you're dealing with somebody who is really toxic, it's so painful on the heart chakra. It's difficult to get into unconditional love energy. Again, I'm going to ask you to please check out the Divine Masculine Super 7 reading. There might be a message to help you move past this energy, but you will move through it. There is an intuition and a connection with your intuition, recognizing that it needs to happen. So just give it some time. The astrological energies will support you moving through this in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard. This card came up again. The word wants to be written, followed by choose wisely in reverse. We've got the disruption card, which is effectively the Tower card in Tarot. And then we have Hilarion, which is divine healing. And it says, honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal, your light can support others. Okay. So, National Guard, I feel like I've tapped into an individual who possibly made a decision that has some ramifications that they're dealing with in the now. There could be rank loss, position loss, transfer, administrative, UCMJ, something along those lines. And while like in the right now, that all feels super, super negative and like world ending or whatever, right? It can feel like that. But I'm here to tell you as a person, as a person who got 3 Article 15s for insubordination in the service and never really truly excelled because I just was not built for that type of environment, it passes. And you learn, and it's now, for me, I find it funny that I was such a goob, I couldn't keep my mouth shut at 17 years old. I still kind of can't. But fortunately, I can in the right circumstances. So, yeah. There's this feeling of consequences going on right now. This came through earlier, and I'm feeling really strongly that there may be a need for a written apology. An email, a text, there needs to be some sort of accountability. And it might be that you don't actually send that out. You might need to just really understand where you failed yourself and recognize it's not actually a failure. It was just a soul lesson, learning experience. Everything's very temporary. The now disappears every single nanosecond into the next now. So the next now allows for different opportunities. So embrace that, learn your lesson, move forward. Okay, National Guard? All right, Frontline Collective. Okay, first up is the 2 of Clubs, which is the 2 of Wands. No, I picked these up upside down. There we go. Yeah. That's right. Okay, so, the first thing coming through that I want to talk about is this Voyage card, frontliner. This card, while it does sort of give you the idea of protection, right? Because you've got this big whale with the baby whale and the sling. This card is actually about healing frequencies, sound, and I'm really getting Sophaggio frequencies very strongly. So Frontline Collective, Spirit is saying to you, you need to incorporate healing frequencies into your life on a daily basis, multiple times throughout the day, to help you recalibrate your frequency, because you're exposed to so much low vibe, negative energy, vampiric. I'm hearing a lot of energy, vampiric energy in the Frontline Collective that I'm picking up on. Those frequencies can help you protect yourself, like right away. You can do, I highly recommend Steve Noble, Nobel, does guided meditations to, get your chakras opened and lined out. And then incorporating those healing frequencies throughout your day, all day, regularly, in the morning, at night, whatever it takes to raise your frequency, okay? So that was the first message coming through with that. And I can see why. So, Spirit is asking you to do this because you've got a love relationship coming in. Or yeah, or you're getting back together with another person, and it's not a balanced decision. It's not fully weighed out, and I feel like this person has actually made a committed decision to go in a direction that is probably going to provide some additional soul lessons. So listen to, I'm hearing the 600s and I'm hearing the 900 frequencies. Get on YouTube, just listen to whatever you're called to. There's some downloads that are needing to come in that you're not getting because you're not calibrated to a frequency that's compatible with those downloads right now. And this will help you move past this energy. I'm not going to go super deep into this energy because it's kind of low vibe. And the message from Spirit is about getting out of it. So I'm tapped into a collective that is in a place of a choice point, but unfortunately right now is not in a place of balanced decision making. So I would caution you against taking action right now because you need to recalibrate the factors that you're taking into account in the equation of your decision-making process. Okay? There is something about what you're doing that is actually going to end up blocking love, not bringing it in. It's going to bring in toxic bullshit. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. This message is so strong. So please reevaluate what you are doing there. And this requires some, this is like putting on your big girl, big boy undies and like facing some truth. And with the victim shit and the codependency shit, this is like, you got to let that stuff go. And Spirit is saying use the healing frequencies to help you move through that in your meditation practices, okay? Well, so there you go. That's the message for the day. God bless. Godspeed. Peace out.